Yes, yes.
Right. Okay. Okay. So, Sravan, just to Sravan, there's for those people who are coming in the waiting room, you want to vet them before you allow them in, is it? Or you want to just?
I will take care of allowing those people, sir.
Fine. Or you can actually set it by default to say let everybody in without having to do anything. Okay. Anyway, I'll leave it to you.
I'll take care of that one, sir.
Okay. Good. So yes. Okay. Let me begin. By telling you where I was before I joined the enagic business. I was trained as a. By the way, I'm 60 years old today. Not today. In end of the year in November, I'll be 60 years. And I started as a chartered accountant. Okay. In fact, I just went to school. All I wanted to do is just get my certification. That's it, certification. And when I became a chartered accountant, I was like, oh, good. I've achieved what I wanted to achieve, and I went to work for my family business. My family, my father was a very successful businessman. In fact, we come from a small town. It's a small town. It's a small town of less than 100,000 people. It's a place called Segamat. It's about 3 hours drive from Kuala Lumpur. It's like halfway between Kuala Lumpur and Singapore. You know, so I did that, and I was an accountant, and after that I became a stockbroker. All right, and while being a stockbroker, after that I became a futures trader, and I was very much an introvert. Now I was very shy. I hated to deal with people. You know, to me, people was like problematic. I didn't want to deal with people, so I was like hiding away, doing my accounting stuff and doing my trading, and when I was a futures trader, right? A futures trader is somebody who trade the market, you know, buy shares and sell shares or buy the index, and it's just between me and the computer, and it's how nice, you know. I didn't have to deal with people because people were giving me challenges, you know. Because I didn't consider myself to be a people person. I hated people who were like. In fact, I was very jealous of people who were good talkers, who were very good in selling. To me, it's like I felt very small compared to them. So I was happy to be hiding away from people, and I was like dealing between myself and my computer, because this is all trading is all about. So that is me, all right. And like I said, I come from my family. My father was successful. In fact, let me tell you this: my father was so successful that there is a road named after him in my hometown. All right. So I can actually tell people. I can say, you know, if people were to ask me that, well, you think that this road belongs to you or belongs to your father? There's a Chinese expression, you know, when you get into argument with people, right? Let's say, you know, when you're a bit let's say if you encounter an argument with somebody, maybe a road, what do you call, a traffic disagreement. People will come down and they can say to you, "What, do you think this road belongs to your father?" And I could say, "Yes, it's named after my father." Right? Yeah. So anyway, so when I was doing my trading, initially I was making lots of money, but I was getting a bit arrogant. And you know, trading is all about self-management, self-psychology, self-management, managing your risk, and you know, I'm a human being with a big ego, so I lost my money in the stock market, and then I realized. Then I started. Well, during that time, right? I started getting involved in personal development, and this journey of personal development over a course of from age 37. At the age of 37 was I only introduced to personal development. I attended the seminar, and that really opened my mind up. And I was introduced to books to read. I started reading, very hungry for reading. But I have to say, when at the age in my mid-30s, right, I was a very slow reader. People, I could take 6 months to finish one book. But every time I read a book, right, I find that when you read a book, when you discover something new, it's like, wow, I didn't know that. Because actually I was a very negative person, right? Everything to me I wasn't able to do. Okay, in fact, even today, I think most of us, even myself, I still have a lot of negative thoughts in my head. I have negative thoughts. I got negative emotions, but can you imagine if I didn't open myself to personal development back when I was age 37? I don't think I'll be in enagic. I attended a course called Landmark Forum. That's much later. But I want to talk about. Let me talk about all this personal development journey. I think it is very important. Has anyone here attended? There's a personal development course called Landmark Forum. I believe they have it in Hyderabad, in all the major cities in India.
Yes.
Anyone here has attended?
We have attended long back. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's there in Hyderabad also, sir.
Who has attended personally? Who here has attended?
Not attended.
Raju?
Yes.
Only one. Raju. Only one person. Right. Things like this are so important because it's sort of those development courses, right, really made me as a person and gave me a lot of positivity. I have to say here, right now, if I didn't attend those personal development, the first one was called Money and You, which is in Malaysia, not in India. Maybe I should get those guys. I should talk to them to introduce it to India because India is a big market. And Money and You is there's this program called Money and You. Money and you, me, you, right? Because it gave me such, and that is a course where I really learned. Now let me ask all of you. I'd like to sort of prompt you again so that you will get some value out of today. How can you be successful? Can anyone type in there? How can one be successful? Just type in your answers.
We'll ask
I need some participation.
Yeah. We'll ask everyone to type in chat box, Sam.
Okay. How can you be successful? Or how can you be financially? Let's talk about be more financially successful. Because I'm going to give you an answer here. Because when I was at the age of 37 years old, I didn't know how to be successful. I didn't know how to be financially successful. Okay? Smart work hard, yes. Okay? Of course, you have to work hard. You have to be consistent. Changing attitude, yes. But the answer I'm going to give to you, right, it's not here yet. It is so fundamental, and I invite everybody to participate. Put in your answers, right? Because positive, yes, you need to work smart. You need to have positive attitude. You need to have team, yes, absolutely, all right. But there's something missing. There's something missing. In fact, just by me sharing this, right, that is the biggest thing. Once you get this, compassion, yes, invest in learning, you need all that. Okay?
Absolutely.
There's one thing here which is so important. Okay? Yes, you want to be passionate, you want to be successful. Yes, that's called the desire for success. Yes. All right, all this, yes, but something is missing. Something is missing. Once I share with you, right, of course you need to have a goal. Once you really get it, burning desire is so important. Yes, but the answer is not there. Okay? Visualization success, yes. Okay, burning desire, yes. Trust with self, yes. All these are true, but something is missing. Something is missing. All right?
Winning attitude.
Of course, you need all those winning attitude. Something. It is this. Okay? Any business, I'm talking about businesses, when you do a business. Any businesses, right? And we are all in the business of enagic. So we are in the business. The key is this. You must add value to your customers. You must always add value to your customers. Your product or your service must be adding value to your customers. All right? Any business, I'm going to write this here. I'm going to put it in big cap. Any business must add value to their customers. And that's how any businesses become successful. Look at enagic. Look at the Kenyan distributors. Look at Apple Computer. Look at Amazon. Look at Google. Look at Facebook. They're all adding value to the customers. Anything at all. If your product or your service doesn't add value to people, or another way of saying is providing a solution to their problems to make life easier, nothing is going to work. So adding value, add value is so important. And I learned this very late in life. Well, not too late, because if you look back, I'm 60 years old. At the age of 37, I was probably considered young then. All right, but once you really get it, if you don't get this adding value, maybe some of you're aware, but you don't have the clarity that you must add value to your customers. So when I was an accountant, when I was a trader, I hated selling. I didn't like selling at all. But after attending all these courses, right, I realized that no one can be an island, because when I was a trader, it's me and my computer screen. I was like me and the computer screen. I don't have to deal with people. But that's not what life is. Life is, we are all here on a journey. So you have to interact with people. God put us on this planet to be not to live alone. No one can be an island. We have to be in association. We have to interact with people, your family members, your colleagues, your people in the world, out there, your customers. All right. And so like as I was saying, right, my family is quite well off. All right. In fact, I didn't have to do Kangen. I didn't have to do anything. All right. I could just live on my family inheritance. But I needed to do something. I mean, it is meaningless to don't do anything at all. Okay. So that's why I became a stockbroker. Then after that, I started my second-hand car business, because I needed to provide for myself and my family. But I do not want to be relying on my family wealth. I wanted to be a success on my own, because I remember, right, in my hometown, people only see me as my father's son. I'm not Sam Xia. I'm the son of my Xia He Yang. That's my father's name. So to me, it's like there's no fulfillment. So I needed to be successful on my own. Okay, so I started selling. Maybe I should say it this way. I started life very late. I started life at the age of 45. All right. So yeah, I started life at the age of 45. And by the way, any of us can start life in any moment in time. We can start life at the age of 60. At the age of 70, it's never too late. Okay. So that's my little bit of my background. And so when I was in the car business, I did it for about 3 years. And tell you what, the car business was tough, real tough. I have to put in a lot of work. I got to put in a lot of money. I work 7 days a week. I worked right till very late at night. you know, and I have the bills to pay, the overheads, the rent to pay, and really I work like a dog. I work like a dog, and so my wife and I were looking for another business to do. So we considered getting into the restaurant business. So before I got into the restaurant business, what I did was I did a bit of survey. I went to the shopping center. I've been looking. There are about 50 restaurants in the shopping center. And after just spending one day in the shopping center, I came to one conclusion. If you want to do a restaurant, right, that is proof already in the shopping center. Go there and have a look. All right? Some restaurants are empty. Some restaurants are full throughout the day. Which are the restaurants which are full? KFC, McDonald's, those franchise businesses. All the other restaurants, they were nowhere near those restaurants. So my conclusion was, forget about doing the restaurant business unless you buy into a franchise business like McDonald's or KFC. It's proven. Just go out and check it out yourself. Unless you're running a restaurant from hand-me-downs from your father or your grandfather where the food is tasty. But I've had so many friends who started their own restaurant before and they are no longer around. Okay. Anyway, so that was. So I was still looking for a business to do. But then one day, my sister-in-law introduced me and Cora to this product. And we saw the product, we were very amazed with it. And that product was done on a direct selling basis. And that was how I was introduced into the direct selling business. That was back in 2007, which is 13 years ago. And that was my first taste of direct selling. And I did it, and I became successful in a very short period of time. In fact, in my first year, I made about $50,000 US in my first year income, and to me it was wow, that's amazing, With someone with no experience, no direct selling experience at all, I got involved into this direct selling business. In my first year, I made $50,000 US. How much is that in Indian rupee?
35 lakhs.
35 lakhs in my first year. All right, and so that's my first taste of direct selling, and I love it. But I didn't last long in this company because I didn't have the expertise to do it. I lacked the experience, and after 2 years, I was like, no, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do it. I just left. But my experience of direct selling, right? I've tasted it. Don't ever, after tasting direct selling, success in direct selling, right, I never ever wanted to go back to a conventional business. It doesn't make sense. Now I'm going to see whether I can share my screen here. All right. Okay, one second. Content. I can't seem to be sharing it. No, I
can do the sharing, sir.
Yeah, I can't seem to be able to. I don't know why. Let me see.
There should be share screen in the menu.
Wait 1 second. Okay, for some reason I can't do it. Never mind. So, okay. So anyway, let me do my level best to explain it to you. To do a business, right? Doing a business is not easy. In fact, I think I shared in the last week's doing the Kenyan business is not easy. The thing is doing any business at all, any business is not easy. But doing the Kenyan business is a lot easier. Let me tell you why. Very simple. Why? You have a system. If you want to look at the enagic business, right? What we all are doing is we are just the marketing partners of this product. Maybe I can share my screen here. Okay, maybe you can see this.
Yes.
I've written there in the middle. Any business, right, must have these 4 components. Okay, you need to have the production. You need to have the capital to do the business. And number 3, number 3. I would say is hang on. One second. Number 1, you need to have the production. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Able to see.
You need to put in the capital. You need to have your admin department, your accounts department, and your warehousing department. And number 4, you need to do your sales and marketing. Any business will have all this. Okay? Now, the first 3 items, number 1, number 2, and number 3, which is the production, the capital, and the accounts, admins, and logistics, that is provided by enagic. Enagic is supplying all of that. And we, the distributor, right, we all doing just this. The enagic distributor, I just have to do one, selling and marketing. And can you imagine, when I was in the car business, right, I was doing everything, 1, 2, 3, 4. I was juggling. And it was so stressful. And now with enagic, all we do is just sell the product and introduce this product to other agents. It's like, it's so simple. It is so simple. How many of you like the enagic business, from show of hands? How many of you like the enagic business, from show of hands?
Right. Right in chat box, Sam.
Yes. Okay.
Yep.
Right. So, all right, I see that many of you are hiding behind your camera. You don't know how to show your face. I'd like you to, I'm inviting you, right? It should be on camera, because when you're on camera, right, that means you're present. You're present there. You're not checking your phones. You're not checking your phones. You're not checking your WhatsApp messages or your Facebook. And you're more present with me. And when you're present with me, and you've decided to be here. So you must well make the best of our time here. Treat me as though I'm in front of you. All right, and because I have a lot to share with you.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Thank you for showing up. All right. Hi, Sida. Okay. Okay. The next thing I want to share with you is this. So before the Kangen business, as I was saying, I was looking for a business to do. There are so many people out there who was looking for a business to do, like I was, and you too as well. And there are many other people like you. There are people out there looking for a business to do, not an easy business, but a business which is fulfilling, which can add value to your customers, and most important thing is must be fulfilling, and it must be financially rewarding. Okay. Before I got into the enagic, right? I was like I said, I was many years ago. I was very soft spoken. I was shy. I hated public speaking. Gosh, I hated public speaking. Having to appear on stage, I was like always having this worry and couldn't sleep for nights. Even as a Kangen leader, only until recently, I was able to overcome the fear of public speaking, right? And so the journey as an enagic distributor has been. It's not only about money. I grow as a person. I really, I am not recognizable today compared to before Kangen. Ask my wife, Cora. Cora is there. Cora is here with us, right? And so the journey has been a huge growth for me. apart from and it has led me to experience a whole new world, financially, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. My confidence has grown as a result of this journey in enagic. Okay. Okay, now I can begin about my journey as a 1A, from 1A to 6A7-6. So my first experience in 2007, my first direct selling company, right, which I lasted for about 2-3 years. And after that, I was only looking for a direct selling company to do. And I went through another 3 more. And all of those, they lasted for a few months. One lasted for 1 month, another one lasted for about 2 months, another one lasted for about 3 months, maybe 6 months the best. Okay? And so I was always looking out for a company, for a product. In my head, there must be a product, there must be a company out there where I'm going to make it my home, my final home. Okay? And in 2011, 9 years ago, because every time somebody told me, Sam, there's this opportunity, come and check it out. Oh, yes, please keep me informed. I want to always check out all the opportunities, because you just never know, right? This opportunity is being sent by God to me, and I don't want to miss out. I do not want to miss out. Just like Kangen. Can you imagine if somebody wanted to show Kangen to me, and I said, I kept a close mind, and I didn't open my eyes to see it, I would have missed out big time. So I'm so grateful that somebody called me up from Singapore one day and said that his sponsor was coming to Malaysia, and I was like, okay, I'm ready to listen. All right. So he came. This guy came and listened. His name is P.A. Chan from Mauritius. Back on the 2nd of March, 2011. So exactly 9 years, 2 months ago. Okay. Came to me. We went to a Starbucks in Kuala Lumpur. He didn't do any demo. He just opened up the laptop, showed to me, explained to me. After about 20 minutes, okay, I said, oh, this is a bit different. No demo done. There's no demo done. I said, maybe a bit different. It's beyond a water machine. Then I asked for the price. He told me 4,000 US. I asked me, what? 4,000 US? You must be crazy. I'm not going to buy this machine. Who's going to buy this machine? Impossible. Anyway, so anyway, I thought, but the way it was presented to me, this is like a machine which can produce the miracle water from Lutz or from Mecca. If we can actually do that, it'll be good. But so I was looking for a business to do. I didn't want to say no, but even though the price was so expensive, so I decided that I will get him to speak to two other friends of mine. So immediately I made a phone call so I met him in the morning at about 10 o'clock. So straight away I called up 3 guys. He spoke to the other 3 guys. We went to another restaurant. Spoke to the other 3 guys. The other 3 guys saw it. They were like, oh, okay, so expensive. So expensive. So anyway, I called up Cora. I said, I got one guy who's here from overseas, got something which is amazing. Can you please make yourself available to be at home? I'll get him to come to our home that night. So, and I also called 2 other friends. So during the lunchtime, 3 guys have seen it. They didn't buy into it. It's too expensive. Dinner time, Cora and 2 other guys came. Okay? The 4th and 5th guy. So PA showed the first demo to me and Cora and the 2 other prospects. Only then I saw, holy heaven, now we are talking. It was a demo. The demo was the thing which changed everything. I saw the demo, and that was it, really. And did the 4th and 5th guy buy? No, they didn't buy. Okay. So Cora, I don't know, I can't really recall. Cora, would you like to share? What can you recall that very first night? By the way, I didn't prepare Cora for this.
Okay, I'll just share what happened when Sam actually called me and said, "Be home by 6 p.m. or something like that." And I said, "What is it all about?" And when he said, "Somebody's gonna sell us something," I said, "No, I had enough. Please do not." But Sam is always open to something, and he told me, he said, "Just be home, right?" So what happened was, I came home, and this guy came, and he's from Mauritius, and he's Chinese, and he speaks French, and he speaks very funny English. So if you meet Pierre one day, he speaks, you can't even hardly understand what he's saying. And so what he did was, those were the days that we don't even do physical demos, right? So what he did, he showed us a video, and he did 2 physical demos. That's the oil test and the tomato test, I think. Now the oil test really opened our eyes. So it was the demo that really like, wow. Then, being women around, when we see oil being able to, dissolve, the first thing that comes to our mind is that we can lose weight, right? Correct? So I think that's the first thing a lot of women's mind. I said, wow, I think I can lose weight. So I was really excited about the product. And I remember Pierre was very smart. He left the machine for us to use for a couple of days. And he said, I've got to pick it up in a couple of days. And I was like, please don't come and pick it up. Let us use it, right? So what happened was, after that, we started using the water. And Sam was not even, actually didn't want to buy it, even though he was so excited. He's more interested in the business part. I was more interested in the product, right? So, and when I said, hey, let's buy, he said, wait. Why he waited? Because we need to do research. We did our own research. We did a lot of research on what the machine is. He did research on money, the business aspect of it. I did research on what this machine is all about, what it can do for us. So at the end of the day, I guess the money part is him. So we bought the machine and we started using it. And it's worked wonders for us. And Prakash been asking me about my journey as a 1A to a 6A. I might as well just give a brief here, right? My journey. Sorry, Sam, I take over your 1A.
Oh, you can take over the entire session.
Women power. So as far as I was concerned, my 1A up to my 6A is very dependent, working together closely with my husband. Meaning in our journey in Kangen, I believe being a unit together as a couple is very, very important. Why is it important? Is because when you support your husband, or for ladies, get your husband to support you. Because when you work as a team or you work together, there's a lot of understanding between each other.
And there's also a lot of disagreements.
Yes, definitely. I do not agree 100% with Sam, and very sure Sam will not agree with everything that I say as well. But it doesn't matter, because that's not important. Most important is the support for each other. And I always remember one thing, as a woman, we have to support our husband. Especially, I have to support Sam. Even if it's right or wrong, sometimes we have to support our husbands. But most of the time, I have to admit he's been right most of the time. Maybe a couple of times wrong, but most of the time he's been pretty right. He's got very, very good judgment, right? And so the support as a unit. So we grew together, right? We grew together. Everywhere he went, I was there. When we traveled together. Sam was always doing the talking. He wasn't the best talker at that time. Now he's perfect, right? But I was always behind.
Not perfect yet.
I was always behind supporting him. Support means, as I said, when we traveled, we went to UK. When we started, I think when we started India, I'm not sure whether I don't think I went there. I was worried about India. I was scared of India. But Sam brought along Meng Wei and someone else, right? And I was really excited to go there. when I knew how perfect and how good India is, and I really wanted to meet you guys, right? And I really wanted to go to Hyderabad because Hyderabad was, I heard, was a very nice place, beautiful place, and I'm glad I went there, met up with you guys, right? And so the rest is all history, right? Hyderabad was basically a seed, one of the seed that started was in Hyderabad. So thank you guys. So my journey again, as I said, from 1A to 6A, very dependent on together, working together. So ladies, work together with your husband or your team, right? But slowly, sure your husband or your wife will come together when they see the money. Money is one aspect of it. But when you see what you're doing, you're helping so many people in the world, right? I mean, the product works. We cannot deny that. No matter what we say, the product works, right? We are not selling a cure. We are not selling anything, but we are selling good water that people drink, and it helps their body. That's all. So that's all I have to say. I'm going to pass the floor back to Mr. Sam.
Oh, thank you, Cora. I was waiting for this moment. Okay. So that day itself, when the PA left the machine for us, so you see, PA was so desperate. PA was so desperate to find somebody in Malaysia. And there's one guy who's interested. So he left the machine there. Anyway, so we hooked on the machine and then took a drink of the water. I hated it. I hated the smell of the water. Because the machine, right, they didn't do the e-cleaning for a long time. And you know, the water was probably going through, there's probably a lot of calcification. And you know, when you drink the Kenyan water, right, and you run it on very slow flow rate, on very high pH, like it's like drinking the 11.5. You drink it, it's like so fishy smell, such a fishy smell. I was like, how can I do a business which produce such a fishy smelling water? I was like, I wasn't so motivated with the machine, but I was motivated with the business. All right. So just as well, we discovered how to overcome the smell of the pH, of the what you call the highly alkalized water. So from that moment, it's always stuck in my head. I always keep telling people, when you give water for the new people to try, always give 8.5 or 9.0. Don't give 9.5 just in case it is too fishy. And always run the water at a fast rate. Don't run it at a slow rate because it is fishy and you will cause some people not to buy the machine. Very, very, very important. Run the water at a fast speed. You don't want to have a fishy smell because some people are very sensitive. I'm very sensitive. So anyway, so okay. By the way, the first two guys who came to the house, or rather the fourth and fifth guy, one of them is a good friend of mine. He is the general manager of a water filter manufacturing plant. All right, it's a water filtration. His factory can produce 6,000 machines a month. And the other guy was a biochemist. Okay, so the general manager of the factory told me, Sam, this product is very different from what they are manufacturing. He's never seen anything like this. Oh, so there's a thumbs up already, okay? The other biochemist, right, said, this product is what I heard from a doctor friend. Now I know what the product is, okay? So it's like I got validation from these two guys, right? Whether they bought or not, it's not important. I just wanted to get their opinion. Anyway, these two guys, did they buy the machine? No, they didn't buy the machine because they are not businessmen. Okay, they are just employee mindset. Okay, so at least now it's like I said, let's go on this business. That night itself, because you know I still wasn't sure until I saw the demo. So I started inviting my friends. So my first batch of friends who came, right? I think about 6 people came. I called them up. I didn't explain them. I never talked about it. I didn't get into the details. I say, hey guys, I want to invite you to come to my house at a certain at what time? Come early. We have some refreshments to eat. Okay. I think I invited them for dinner. I I said, come over. And I told them, just come over. I didn't explain what it was. Come over, I got something to show you. I got something to show you. Something amazing to show you. They just came. They just trusted me. They came. First meeting, 6 people came. All right? Out of 6 people who came, 2 of them bought the machine. Good. Then the second batch of people came. I think I invited about another 6 to 7 people came. This was on a Saturday morning. So I told them, come for lunch. After that, I got something to show to you. So this first 2 batches, right? PA was still around. PA showed the demo. The second meeting, out of 7 people who came, 2 of them bought the machine. Wow. Confirmation already. And at that point in time, right, we were not talking about the business. We were just showing the product. We were showing the product, okay? And these people, and I still didn't know how the business worked. Okay, we were just so excited about our product. So with that first 2 batches, and then I wanted to have more people. But see, those people who bought, right, they also wanted to invite their people. So our house wasn't big enough to house their guests as well. So I decided to book a room in the hotel to run an event. Okay? So the first hotel event, which is basically our 3rd public demo, our 3rd demo, right? The 3rd demo has really gone to a hotel event. And the first hotel event, we had about 20 people who showed up. Okay? And I was like, I decided there and then, right, because I didn't know how to do the demo, I felt that I better hire a photographer, a professional videographer to come and record the session. So this guy, his name is Andrew. He was a videographer. I called him up. I also had the intention to get him into the business because this videographer, he was in the previous. He was also in the first direct selling organization which I joined. Okay, my idea is to get him to come and join the business as well. So, but I didn't. I hooked him by paying him to come to and do the recording of the demo. And guess what? Anyway, before I get into that, in that public demo, right? In that public demo, about 20 people, I think we got about 3 sales. Out of 20 people, we get about 3 sales. All right, and after the public demo, after the video recording, Andrew, the videographer, told me, "Hey Sam, this business is workable. All right, it's workable." Now I'm going to tell you the funny thing now. Okay, that video that he shot, right, which I paid about $150. How much is that in rupee? $150 is about
$50,000 US.
No, $50 US.
50.
No, 150. 150 US.
Okay. 50,000 nearly. 1,05,000.
No, less than that.
1,000 nearly.
11,000 rupee. I paid 11,000 rupee for him to shoot the video. Okay? It was one of my best investment. You know why? He brought in one of my leaders. His first customer is Gary Gunn. Gary Gunn is a 6A2-5. Right. Okay. So I didn't know Gary Gunn, but Andrew, the videographer, brought in Gary Gunn. And up to today, right, I have not seen the video. I have not watched the video which I paid him to do the recording. Isn't that amazing? So, yeah, I mean, that was one of my best investments for 11,000 rupees. I paid for somebody to do the videographer with the intention of watching the video, but I didn't watch it. All right. So from then on, after that, right, we did a few more demos in the hotel because my house just wasn't big enough. Okay, and within 3 months, I became a 6A. All right, thank you. But I was really working very hard. It's like all out massive action. And every day was all about Kangen. I drank Kangen, I ate Kangen, I slept Kangen, I shitted Kangen. Everything is all about Kangen. All out massive action. And I was like, for me, it's just on Kangen for 90 days. Okay? So were there any challenges along the way? Of course there were challenges. There were many challenges. We came across many people who say that this machine is bullshit, it's a scam, you know. I have even people telling me, this you will not be able to sell this machine. Even after 1 year in the business, I met one guy who was an electrical store owner. He said he sells television sets for the same price as our machine, or less than our machine. He said this machine you will not be able to sell it. You know, listening to someone who's in the electrical business, if I didn't believe myself, I would have perhaps I would have been affected by him. So the key here is this. Hi Chandra. The key here is this. Don't make the mistake, especially to the people who are new. Don't make the mistake of listening to people who don't know what they are talking about. All right. And the other mistake is not listening to people who really knows what they are talking about. All right. So there's one book that I'd like to recommend you all to read, which is Your First Year in Network Marketing by Mark Yarnell. If you can write it down, let me just type in here. All right. Read the abridged version of your first year in network marketing. Okay, got it. So okay, so when I became a 6A, all right, and there's this. So okay, by the way, in my first 6 months, right? In my first 2 months, I was doing the business, and I was hardly drinking the Kangen water. I was like only drinking it at home. I think at best one day I was drinking about 2 glasses. All right, and my upline right gave me a DVD. Give me a DVD. Those days, there's no YouTube. There was perhaps YouTube, but it wasn't so popular. So we were giving away a lot of CDs. I bought 1,000 copies of this DVD called what's the name of the DVD? Cora? Daniel Dimagali. Answers for a Thirsty World. Answers for a Thirsty World. Okay? Answers.
Yes. Answer to the thirsty world.
For a Thirsty World.
Yes.
Answers to a Thirsty World.
To a thirsty world.
Answers to a Thirsty World. By Daniel Dimagali. You can find it on YouTube.
Yeah, several times we have seen his videos.
Okay, you know that was my best training. Watching the DVD was my best training for Kangen. In fact, I was giving this DVD out to many people, but I wasn't watching it. See, there are many things that I wasn't doing. I was selling the machine without drinking the water, and I was giving out the DVD without watching the DVD. Until one day, Cora told me, you must watch the DVD. It's so good, right? So this was like about after giving it out for 1 month. Then only did I watch the DVD, because I just couldn't bring myself to sit down, because I was so busy doing the Kangen business. I couldn't bring myself to sit down and be present to watching the DVD. That's the one. Answers for a Thirsty World. All right. Go to YouTube. Use this to train your new people. Ask them to watch it 100 times. In fact, when I was doing this business, right, I was. So when there's no one around, when Pierre left already, I didn't know how to do the demo. You know what I did? I invited people to my house, and I played the DVD for them to watch. But I edited it. I make it from 1.5 hours. I cut it short to about 1 hour, and I must have watched the training. I must have watched the DVD right when I was bringing my prospect. I must have watched it at least 100 times, and that is how I gained the belief in the product. Okay, you can use that to train your people. And who here has watched the DVD? By the way, who has watched the DVD? Okay,
Of Daniel?
Daniel Dimagali.
Yes, I have.
All right. How many times have you watched it, Stravan?
Almost 20 times I've learned my demo through Democratis demo, by seeing Democratis demo.
How about you, Raju? How many times have you watched?
Almost I've shown people, and personally I love to listen to it because it was very crystal clear, and the way he talks, the way he demos is very articulate. So not less than 30 to 40 times, I thought.
Yes. Just by showing it to your prospect, you also gain the confidence and the faith.
I know that every word what he uses every time.
Yes.
Every line.
It's very engaging and very humorous. That's the best part. He made it so humorous. So when I became a 6A, right? And look, I'm not a public speaker. So I'm nothing like Daniel Dimagali. But you know what? After I became a 6A distributor, right? One day I was having a drink with some friends, about 3 other friends. I told them, I want to be the #1 distributor in the world. I don't know where it came out from. That word came out from my mouth. I want to be the #1 distributor in the world. I know I couldn't speak by like Daniel Dimagali, but the word just came out from my mouth. Okay, amazing. So I got the idea that I wanted to be the biggest distributor in the world one day. Okay, and I don't know, the word just came out from my mouth. And the funny thing was that really inspired me to sort of really take this business and seize it by the horn. So that's how I got Gary into the business. All right, and so I continued doing the business, and I started going to outside of Kuala Lumpur, right? Just like from Hyderabad, one guy got me. Oh no, wait. So I decided to go and support one of my team members. Who is in another town called Malacca. It's like Warrangau to Hyderabad. Okay. So I went there. We were like doing it on a was it a weekly basis or a fortnightly basis, Cora? Okay. It's like we went there almost like once every 2 weeks. You got to drive down there for 1.5 hours because I wanted to do this business big. So I wanted to support the team there. And after, by the time I did the 3rd or 4th week, right, there's one guy who is about 5 levels down. He came, he saw it, and he was very serious. He requested to meet up with me. He said that, Sam, I really am interested to do the business, but I don't have the money. I don't have the money to do the business. So I told him that I can finance you, but I cannot finance fully or finance 50%. I cannot give you a free machine. So he came out with half the money. I provided him with half the money. Because you see, when we were starting that time, right, when somebody is serious, right, we want people who are hungry, right? And I work out in my head. He bought the machine. All he needed to do is to sell a second machine. I would have made my money back. Now, if you are 6A distributor, right, you can relate to that. So it's so easy. It's a no-brainer. So after he was in the business for a month or two, right? After he was in the business for 1 or 2, in fact he hasn't even sold anything yet. He called me up, Sam, I got this guy who's in another country, Singapore. Okay, this guy is a leader, and he is the upline of Philip in the previous company. For me, it's like, While you got somebody leader that you want me to speak to, I'm only too happy to go. Of course, we had to travel there, stay in Singapore, right? And I went with him. And this guy, when he came in, his name is Raymond Sun. The guy in Singapore, his name is Raymond Sun. When he came in, because he's so far away, I could only manage to earn only 1 point. Okay? At that point in time, I was happy to help my team members. That was most important. All right? And Raymond Sun, the guy who was in Singapore, a very soft-spoken, very humble guy, very well liked. He was my second 6A below me. Okay? My first 6A below me was Gary Gunn. By the way, Gary Gunn was on my 9th direct sale. I sold my 9th direct sale to the videographer. The videographer, remember? Who brought in Gary Gunn? My 9th direct sale. On my 13th direct sale was to a guy called Albert, who subsequently led to Philip, who led to Raymond. Raymond is my second 6A. At one time, Raymond was contributing more than half of my total sales. 5 levels down. I want to make this point. 5 levels down. Raymond has already sold up to today, Raymond, 50,000 machines. 50,000 machines. And he is 5 levels away. So what is the moral of the story here? You want to go and support your team members who is far, far away. Even if you don't get anything, you don't get any point, go and support him because he may be your Raymond Sun. It's so critical. So every machine from Raymond Sun, every machine I made 1,000, although because it's out of my 8 points, every machine I made 1,600 rupees. 1,600 rupees for every machine that Raymond Sun sold. So that was when I became okay. So that's my story up to my first 6A2, and of course the journey has been a lot of challenges, and I just want to say this: you need to support your team, all right? And you come across many people. In our industry, right? You come across people from all walks of life, and all different kind of temperament. Some very demanding people, some very obliging people. Whatever it is, you must love all your downlines. Okay, because now I see something big on their forehead. They have something on their forehead, right? Yeah. So always love your downlines, even sometimes they can be a pain in the butt. All right.
Newton Rania. Okay.
One of the beautiful things about our business is this. Remember I was showing this earlier? All right, we have a system. Okay. Now the beautiful part about our business is we are not dealing with employees. Yeah, we don't have to motivate. We don't have to motivate our distributors because they are all self-motivated. They are all hungry. They all have a hunger for success. Of course, the new ones come. You have to guide them. Okay, but most of our leaders, they are like, some of them they are very new when they are. Some of them have no experience. Some of them is their first experience in network marketing. Okay, and they can become successful. Okay, because you see, in our business, especially with a system like that, okay, the system makes life so much easy. Okay, so people just have to start selling the machine, and after a while, you get people who come on their own and they become autonomous. Even if I were to, you see, you guys remember Prakash, Rama, and Jagan. When I first came to Hyderabad, you guys didn't have a clue Just like when I first was introduced to the Kangen business, I didn't have a clue on the product, but we learned, we picked it up. Right? We started to show the demo, we started to show the business plan, and it's so simple. I mean, it's process of duplication. All right.
It was new for us actually, Sam.
Say again?
It was totally new to us. It was very strange product for us actually. But you have
of course.
You have trained us directly. Yeah.
So after a while, we get your team members, right? They just grew on their own. They grew organically, and you can't control it. It's just like planting a seed on the ground, right? And they just suddenly become a 100 foot tall tree from one seed. And that's what has happened to my business. All right? That's what has happened to your business as well, and the business of your people below you. Hi, Praveen. So really, this business, right? There's really nothing much I can share with you in my journey from 6A, from 1A to 6A 2-3-4-5-6-7. Except that I want to say to you is this, it's all organic. Everybody says organic. Yes, this is an organic business. But you must have enough critical mass for it to be organic. You can't just okay, let me just be very honest with you guys. I told myself that I'll do this business for 2 years when I first started. After 2 years, I said I'm going to retire. Isn't that what they always sell to us? The multi-level company. All you need to do is just do this for a certain period of time, and after that you can retire. So I told myself, because I saw my success, right? I told myself I can retire after 2 years. But after 2 years, I didn't retire. I just wanted to continue on. After 2 years, I told myself I'll give myself an extra 2 years. So after 4 years, I can retire. But I didn't. I didn't retire. I remember this was perhaps in 2014. In 2014, I was in Japan, and I was on stage with Mr. Oshiro, and I asked Mr. Oshiro. Now he asked me, Sam, what is my goals? I remember I already said that I wanted to be the biggest distributor in the world. So I told him, at that point in time, I was selling 500 machines a month in my team. All right. I told Mr. Oshiro, my goal is to have 5,000 machines a month. 5,000 machines a month. I told him that. So when I proclaimed this goal of mine, right? I was scratching my head. How the hell am I going to get 5,000 machines a month? I was scratching my head. How can I achieve that? I can't achieve that by just focusing on Malaysia. All right. So that was when I decided I have to go global. I have to venture out from Malaysia. Before that, I had already ventured out to Singapore on my own, directly, to England, to Vietnam, okay? But that was through my indirect lines, right? They were going. And I wanted to go to Singapore to do on my own. But my foray into Singapore didn't work out as well as I wanted it to. So anyway, so I had a friend. So somebody, so I saw the India market. You all like to hear jokes? You all like jokes? Let me tell you a joke. Okay, let me tell you a joke. You want to know why I went to India?
Yeah, please.
One reason why I went to India is because I couldn't go to China. Because I couldn't speak the Mandarin language.
Okay.
But I could speak the English language, and Indians understand English.
Yes.
That's why I came to India. Thank God you speak English. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to come to India. Yeah. So I came to India, and I only knew. I had two guys in India that I knew. One was through a friend, and one was Samir Poddar. Now, I want to ask Cora to explain how we got to know Samir Poddar. Let's hear it from the horse's mouth.
Yes.
Cora, over to you. You have to unmute yourself. We can't hear you. You have to unmute.
One second. I'll just unmute. Yeah.
Samir
Wait,
Poddar.
Yeah.
Samir Poddar, yeah.
Okay. Am I muted already?
Yeah, no, we can hear you.
Yeah, it's
okay. I'm on. Okay. We got to know Samir Poddar through this other MLM, which is also considered, I think, one of our first MLMs.
In fact, our first company.
Yeah, I think it was our first. And what happened was that I was seated at the same table as Samir Poddar at a dinner. And he told me a story. He said that he was cheated by his upline. I think this happens, being cheated by upline, I believe happens in every MLMs or every company, right? Because even in Kangen, so please do not cheat your uplines or downlines, okay? So what happened was that he purchased some products and he was supposed to get something, and then he was supposed to key into the system, he was supposed to get some money. Now what happened was this guy took his money but did not give him any products. So he was stuck with no products and he couldn't even get any money back. He asked me to help him. So I was like, how am I going to help him, right? So what happened was Sam happens to know the owner of the company, of this company. It's called Fusion Excel. And because Sam knows him, so Sam has introduced to him. So I told Samir, I said, I can only help you by taking you to the boss and you explain to him what happened. All right, so I took him to see this guy, and this guy, very, very smart. As soon as Samir told him what has happened, instead of blowing up a problem, being a big boss, he's very, very smart. He just told Samir, here is all your product. And he gave Samir back all his products, and he even gave Samir the piece of paper where he can key in and make money. Samir was very, very happy. At that time, if he can remember, he asked me whether he could join me. And I told him, no, don't join me. I said, maybe one day, we can work together. Maybe one day. And all this while, what has happened is that Samir has kept in touch with me. Each time he comes to Malaysia with his other friends, he'll always contact me, say hello. So we kept in touch. And I think Samir at that point in time was also jumping from one company to another, right? Everybody was trying to find the best company. And thank God he's found the best company, of which all of us are in. And that's the reason why we're all here. So it was through this seed, as I always mention to people. As I said, I told Samir, don't join me, but we'll work together one day, right? So it actually happened because we do not need to be greedy. And all you need to do is help people without expecting anything in return. See, when I helped Samir, I didn't think that, Samir is going to do something for me, or Samir is going to give me something, right? That none of these thoughts comes to me. All I know, what I needed to do was just help someone, and I did that. So if we do something for people with no expectation, sometimes good things come back to us. So with that, keeping in touch with Samir and all, so eventually when Sam wanted to go to India, so he was already there, and I said, go and see Samir. Because I think he was also there to see some other people, and I said, go and see Samir, right? And so that was all it happened. It was just one little seed. So all you guys need is one seed. And if this seed grows, it can become very big. So I have to thank Samir for eventually getting in touch with everyone and making India so good and so big. Thank you, Samir.
And I want to thank Cora. I want to thank Cora because without Cora, I wouldn't have found Samir. So let's give Cora a big hand.
Thank you.
Yeah, so with Samir Samir came to our house. In fact, I think Samir has been to our house at least twice on 2 occasions. So there was some rapport built already. There was a relationship established. We were not doing any business together, but we just for for the sake of just